When I think about jazz and sacred music, I actually find a lot of similarities. Vespers for the Immaculate Conception is a concertized Vespers service. This piece really creates an intersection between the worlds of jazz and sacred music. And when I was composing this piece, I really wanted to create a dialogue between this traditional sacred music and my newly composed music that incorporates a jazz piano trio. In some ways, this project really is coming full circle for me. When I lived in New York City, I had the opportunity to intern at St. Patrick's Cathedral under Dr. Jennifer Pasquale.
JJ came to me years ago and wanted to learn more about music in the church, and he wanted to take a few organ lessons with me. And so I gave him a few lessons, and he came to observe the St. Patrick's Cathedral Choir in rehearsal and during Mass for about a whole semester, and just wanted to pick up things and learn from us.
And to have the opportunity to collaborate with her in this way and to have her conduct her choir at St. Patrick's Cathedral on this project is really just an incredible experience. And to have that all be at the intersection with my own jazz music and my own composition of sacred music is just an incredible way for me to live out my vocation as a Catholic sacred musician.
JJ's Vespers is a great mixture of chant and Baroque music and sacred jazz, and he starts out the work with a nice serene chant along with strings, and then he incorporates SATB choir into the work, and then some soloists, 2 sopranos and a baritone, and then throughout the work there's a weaving of choir and soloists and chant and Baroque and finally jazz, and it just, how one weaves into the other is really genius. It just goes so well together, and it's not like, wow, there it is, but it just weaves so fluidly.
I think the first thing that occurs to me is just the huge dramatic and stylistic range that is available to JJ just by nature of his experience. People want to hear something different. They want to know about what's cutting edge or what's meaningful artistically. When you think about the connections of asking God to be present in your music and inform what you're playing, and the idea of listening to one another and listening to God's Spirit, that they go hand in hand.
So we start off with the invitatory, and then we move into Carissimi Salve Regina. And from there, we kind of go through this portal into the temptation scene of Adam and Eve in the book of Genesis, and into some Psalms. And in praying the Psalms, we start to see the prefigurations of Christ and the salvation that will come through him. We hear the words of the Hail Mary, synthesized with the words of St. Paul. Meditating and praying with sacred music gives us the opportunity to invite God into our lives in a different way, in a way that allows us a certain calmness and gives us the disposition to hear God's voice in our life. In this piece especially, we're invited into devotion of the Blessed Virgin Mary and understanding how this devotion to Mary can lead us into a deeper relationship with Jesus.